What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Georgia Boy Ant Brooks. You can follow me on Facebook at Georgia Boy Ant Brooks. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Georgia Boy Ant Brooks. We chop it up. Real quick, I want to share a thought on something that's controversy, so much to say. You know, when it comes to things, subjects like reparations and stuff like that, a lot of people, a lot of racist white people, so much to say, they have this thing about telling this generation of African Americans, oh, we wasn't born during slavery and we didn't suffer anything. You know, white people could say that because that's why we say white people are privileged because they enjoy the benefits of what their ancestors created. And black people, we just have to wear the scars. The thing is, what people don't understand is that how come, a lot of countries and a lot of cultures, they celebrate their Independence Day. Like, for example, America celebrates its Independence Day on July 4th. They celebrate their Independence Day the day they defeated the British and became an independent nation. A lot of cultures do that. And what they're doing is they're just paying homage to their ancestors. But when it comes to African Americans, you people have the right to had the heart to tell us, oh, you guys wasn't born back then. You guys never lived on a plantation. You guys never suffered um, any of the atrocities that went on during slavery. So how come I can't pay homage to the sacrifices that was made? I, people don't understand. We as African Americans understand that somebody had to die and sacrifice their life for the freedom that we have. That's a fact. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with us as a people, as a community, as a group? What's wrong with us um, wanting to pay homage to that type of struggle? They always try to minimize what has happened to African Americans. Or you guys was never born during during slavery. But we don't tell the Jewish people that. I would never tell a Jewish person, hey, you were never born during the Holocaust. It's stupid. It doesn't even make sense. It's so illogical to say. The racists have these talking points. You think it mattered if I was born a slave or not? Those people that were slaves, our great great grandparents, laid down their lives so this generation wouldn't have to go through what they were going through. What's wrong with paying homage to that? How is that something bad? They just want us to sweep everything under the rug and just forget about everything. So people would say, you know, black people don't deserve reparations. How, what's funny about that? They actually was going to give black people reparations through the research. So so if we didn't deserve it, how come they was going to give it to us some time ago, back in the '60s? If we didn't deserve it, how come they was going to give it to us? It was actually our bill that it wasn't passed, but it was brought into Congress back in the '60s. I think at the time, I think Kennedy was president or Lyndon B. Johnson, one of the two. So people who contradict you, a lot of you racists, you contradict yourselves, and then you coons, you so stupid, you regurgitate their talking points, their weak ass talking points, their illogical talking points. Native American people receive benefits for their suffering. The reason why, like I said, now I keep saying this, we talk about reparations because black people as a group have been systematically disenfranchised. And I'm not saying that the white guy next door is responsible. I'm not saying the white guy in my job is responsible. What we're talking about is white people that's in position of power. The ones who are the white supremacists, the ones who practice the racism against us as a group. People think that we're talking about white people as a whole. Haitian people, Haitian brothers and sisters, actually pay reparations to the slave owners, to the French government for their rebellion. And people don't know, even in America, the slave owners that had slaves, they were given reparations for losing their slaves. We have a we us as a group have always had a hard time passing down wealth from generation to generation. because we have been economically sabotaged by our own government. That is, and that's historically speaking. So reparations is always going to be a hot topic. It's always going to be a hot topic, you know. Of course, the white supremacists are not going to give. The reason why they don't want to give black people, the reason why they originally didn't want to give black people reparations, is because the black economic base is taken out in the first place because it would cripple America. That's why they didn't want to give black people economics. The white supremacists never wanted blacks to do better than white Americans. That's the biggest fear. Black economic empowerment has always been their fear. So that's why they say all this bullshit about not giving black people reparations and shit like that. What do you say to all the families that are alive today that suffered from those race riots? Because they call them race riots, but race riots are nothing but angry white supremacists going to destroy the black economic base to get rid of the black economy. How do you tell people that? My grandparents grew up in the South. They had to go through those Jim Crow laws. And some of my aunt and uncles. We have family that was directly affected by those things. And people just say, well, you guys were more back then. These talk boys are getting old. They're so weak and unintelligent. We don't want to hear this shit no more, man. We don't want to hear it. We have seen the government give reparations to other groups, but when it comes to us as a group, it's just, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. And every time we have pulled ourselves by our bootstraps, as so to say, our economic base has been sabotaged, has been destroyed by our government. That's why black and white wealth receive their money from the slave labor. That's true. That's why a lot of white people are actually rich. They had their money trickle down to them. Yeah, a lot of these corporate companies and stuff like that. Like, I can't think. I gotta do a little more research on the companies that actually benefited from the slave labor. But I know definitely the railroad system did. Check out my comment if you want to comment. Follow me on Facebook, Patricia White Brooks.